Welcome back to episode 2 of Weekly Q&A with Steph. I was so excited with the response after week 1. So if you haven't watched that, make sure you go back after this and watch episode 1. So Weekly Q&A with Steph is all about answering your questions and solving your problems and getting really a buzz in the accounting industry going, where we can share our thoughts, we can debate with each other, and we can get excited about this wonderful industry that we are in. So let's get cracking with the first question.
Five Ways Group asked, "Hey StephQA, add-on numbers are exploding. How should we keep up to date? Can we?"
Awesome question, Paul. In the good old days, 5 or 6 years ago, we literally had a handful of add-on solutions, and that was it. So it was really easy to understand them in depth. It was really easy to understand exactly what they did and exactly what client they were perfect for. Fast forward to today, and we have something like 550 odd add-ons, and they're just the ones who are in the Xero add-on ecosystem, let alone everything else that's out there that our clients can actually be using as well. So your two questions were, should we keep up to date? And also, can we? And I want to break these down because I think it is important that we do keep up to date as accountants on what is out there and available for our clients. Now, as an accountant, I obviously have an ulterior motive for that. And we like to make sure that whatever systems our clients are using, we can get the data that we need out of it. And that's really always been our prime focus for implementing solutions for our clients, because we want that data out so we can give them the advice on what they need to change, how things are tracking, when they're going wrong, etc., etc. And I think it's really important that we still have at least something in the game of an understanding what systems our clients are using and what information we can get out as accountants. The hard part of this is because this ecosystem has grown so rapidly, and because there are so many choices for people now, it is extremely difficult to keep up to date. And if you don't have internal resources, it is literally impossible for you to keep up to date, which is actually quite exciting because this whole other industry has now emerged, being the cloud integrators or add-on industry that is out there. And we've got the fantastic guys at SMB who've been doing this for ages, TradingPad, you've got Osiris Digital, and a whole realm of other people who are doing an awesome job at honing into their niches and being able to implement brilliant solutions for our clients that might be in a certain vertical or a certain industry. So as a business, we now have this choice. We can partner up with these type of add-on partners or add-on solutions, which is fantastic because we don't need to know the nitty-gritty, we don't need to implement those things, and we don't need to be able to support them, which is great. The other alternative is we need to have resources internally in our own businesses that can support this stuff. And it is really, really difficult if you don't have those resources to keep up to date with what's happening just in one application, let alone with the other 5 that are relevant for that person when they're coming in as well. So my advice in this area is you've got to do one of 2 things. You should partner with someone or you should get an internal resource. And the internal resource really needs to have some technical capabilities and skills as well. So we've been implementing solutions like Vend, Deputy, etc. for the last 5 years, and I think we've done a pretty good job of that. But the person behind the camera at the moment right now is our new hire who just does implementations and has a tech background that's all he is actually doing for us. And we went down that road because we were doing a lot of work in that area, and we wanted to keep doing work in that area as well. And the difference having someone from a tech background as opposed to having the accounting background has made an enormous difference, because he goes in with a completely different mindset in terms of what the client actually needs and what the client actually wants, and drags out all of the processes and systems that they're currently using and finds a solution that is very dedicated and specific to that client. It now means that we are implementing all sorts of different things. It also means that we're integrating systems that aren't even on the Xero add-on ecosystem or any other add-on ecosystem into things like Xero as well, which is fantastic. It means that we can do so much more for our clients and they're getting the #1 system that suits them as well. So important that we do keep up to date, but now we have choices. We don't have to do it all internally, and there are some great resources out there that we can actually utilize as well. So keep up to date because we want the data. The data is fantastic, but it's only going to get worse from here on in. Thanks for the question, Paul.
Cloud Accounting AU says, would love to hear how you grew your practice to Xero Platinum. How long did it take?
What an awesome question. My answer straight up would be an enormous amount of hard work and very, very late nights and probably some grey hairs under here as well. So I think this question for me is not so much about how we grew to be a Xero Platinum partner, but it is how we grew the business from scratch, because Xero is the platform that we use and we absolutely love the Xero accounting program for our clients. I think it is wonderful and fantastic. But the only reason that we are a platinum partner is because we've grown our business. So we started 6.5 years ago, no clients, not one client whatsoever, and we now have just over 500 clients, which is, you know, nothing, it's not fantastic and fascinating growth when you think that we're 6 years down the track to get to that stage, but we've been very, very conscious of getting there in our own terms and at our own time, and we've been very conscious of choosing what type of clients we want to work with, the type of work that we want to do, and really doing things by our own terms. So I do want to preface that that has meant an exceptional amount of hard work, all-nighters, all the things that you do when you're growing a business from scratch. But it really comes down to being laser focused on exactly what you want to do, who you want to work with and why. So early on in our journey, it was quite easy for us to pick up clients because we concentrated on the fact that we had a point of difference in we were the early adopters to Xero. And it was really easy to get clients. I know I don't want to discount that, but it was really easy for us to get clients because they'd heard of this program called Xero. They wanted to be using it, all their friends were, and we literally just put ourselves out there as the Xero experts. You can't do that anymore because literally there are thousands and thousands of Xero partners out in the world. So our business has changed with the times, and as we see things like the ability to just get clients from being a Xero partner change, we've changed the way that we're going after those people as well. But it comes down to really understanding who you want to work with and why. And how we've grown is we have used a lot of our social media style stuff. I used to do an enormous amount of writing, literally every couple of days we'd be writing something else. But the big thing for us is we've grown our community. So every single person in the GrowthWise team is exceptionally passionate about this beautiful place that we live called Newcastle. And if anybody's thinking about a sea change, I highly recommend you come and move here. We're on a hunt for stacks of businesses to come back to Newcastle and everyone to stay here. It is fantastic and magnificent, but every single person in the team is really, really community focused. So we turn up to coffee morning events every week. There are beers events every week. We've been involved in getting business groups off the ground. We've been involved in getting education groups off the ground. We've helped lobby for certain things that we wanted, and all of those things that you're literally doing as a group, as a business, just creates a buzz in the community, and people want to be involved in something. They want to feel like they're involved in not only the community, but involved in business and community groups. So that's literally what we've done in the last couple of years to grow our business even further. But it comes down to really knowing who you want to work with and what type of work you want to deliver. So that's literally how we grew to Xero Platinum. It was nothing in terms of we desperately want to get to Platinum or anything. We wanted to grow the business on our terms, in our own pace, and 6 years later, we finally got there. So that's a wrap on episode 2 of Weekly Q&A with Steph, but I really want to keep this conversation going. So in the questions and comments box below, put any feedback, any questions that you have, any lively debate that you would like to have as well. The conversation will continue at Twitter, so using the hashtag StephQA. Keep your comments, keep your questions, and keep that debate going on over there as well. There's been some email chains from a few of us over the last week on whether compliance work is actually dead. So we'll get some things up and get your thoughts and comments on that as well. So thanks, Paul from 5 Ways, for starting that conversation. But we really want to make sure that you're getting the most out of this weekly Q&A series. So make sure you subscribe to not miss an episode and keep those questions coming. Thanks.